Hey guys, I just want to make this video. This is basically a compilation of all the information that we know of so far. Basically, just starting with the beginning of the intro. There is going to be a little bit where I kind of do a little bit of comparison. It's not really a side by side, but just kind of checking out. Obviously, we've seen some footage of some of the cars, and it's more or less to try to figure out, see what we can see in terms of gameplay and style, and see what's different from the last iteration of the game. And basically, starting right here, coming up. So we know that the RX-7, the FD, is obviously in the new title, and that's what you see on the gameplay right now. So I'll let you listen to that. So I added this as just a comparison between the two. So this is RX-7. So here you can see just a little bit of the customization. Obviously it's a little choppy because I'm assuming this is still part of the new build. This video is a couple months old, I believe. And then next I have just a screenshot where it just shows a small list. I kind of zoomed in a little bit. And obviously we know all these cars are already in there, but it is confirmed the Swift is in. Spec C of WRX. And then obviously the super footage. So I'll be quiet for this. So I want to just point out real quick, you can see here on the left, the map is a lot more filled out. There's a lot more detail to it. I know that was something that was missing in previous titles, so I wanted to just point that out. And then from here, it's basically, we're verifying that, they got newer STIs. This looks like it could be maybe a 2012 or 2014. I'm sure there's probably some Subaru guys who will be able to tell me exactly. Obviously, we have the Hawkeye STI, so that's cool to see. I have some other footage towards the end too that shows is basically from their main website. You can see here you got the Toyota GR86, which kind of seems like an asset reuse. You can see right here they have the BRZ, which is effectively the same car. And then from here, it's you can see all the cars, at least that we know of so far, that are going to be in the game. Whichever one of them I'm excited for. I know I think there may have been less than 20 cars in the Import Tuner Challenge. And so that's good to see. And obviously we'll have older versions. I'm hoping to see obviously the new Supra. We haven't seen any of the real new or the really fast boss cars. We haven't seen any of those yet, so I'm excited to see what they have for that. One of the things that they talked about in an interview that I did see is that one of the things that they're planning for in the future, I'm assuming if this game goes well, obviously we'll see a lot more stuff like that. They talked about motor swaps and drivetrain swaps, and he didn't say yes, but which is, I am hopeful. I know that they had some surprises in the last game that were really cool to see. Another thing they talked about was not potentially going to be in this game, but in potential future titles to have, expand the freeway systems. So new cities, obviously, I guess you could say new tracks, but just incorporating, I think, more of the highway systems and stuff like that. I haven't seen anything in terms of the cockpit view that we saw in like Import Tuner Challenge, which I always liked a lot. So it'd be cool to see something like that in this one. You can tell from this footage, it's a little hard to see, but you can see like, the gauge clusters are illuminated. Obviously there's some level of detail going on inside of the car. Like right there, you can see on the 8.6, it had, you could see what would be, I guess like the infotainment system screen kind of lit up there. So I'm really hopeful that they bring that back to some level of what we've seen in the past. That would be exciting. And definitely to see some of the newer cars, because obviously they're showing, like the 2014, 2018 WRX STI, to, see like the A80, the R35 GTR. I mean, I think if King Speed's going to make a return, that's what he's going to be driving. Definitely. So, and just to go back to some of the other things that I had touched on, the developer did say when it came to the motor swaps and drivetrain, all he said is he left it open-ended and that we should wait until we get a copy in our hands to find that out for ourselves. Another thing of note that he did say had something to do with, I guess you'll be able to race any car that's on the highway. So you can see right there that little S13 looked like he was just racing a little like Scion XB. And I'm not sure if that's going to like incorporate to like how they had the Wanderers, the people that weren't necessarily tied to any, group, which, I think there may have just been like a language barrier in terms of the description that he gave, even though it was fairly vague and he only touched on it just for a second. But I just thought that was interesting that he pointed that out, that you'll be able to just race anybody. And, I know just from, Import Tuner Challenge is the one I'll make the most jump to just because it was the most recent title in the franchise. And in that one, I know that, in order to build a car fully built, it costs quite a bit of money. Pretty much all the money that you had. And I know that some of the Wanderers, like there was one that, he'd only race you if you had a luxury sedan. Some of them were, one front tire had to have a different diameter than the rear tire. It didn't specify, the size or anything like that. It just mattered in terms of, them just being different. So to see some of that kind of brought back in, he did make another point that, the big thing for them is making the game more nostalgic. Rather than it trying to be an evolution, it's more of trying to do more callbacks to what we knew of in previous titles, and then obviously however they're going to expand on that in terms of providing new content that's still kind of yet to be seen. But like I said, I try to bring all the information that I could find and try to come up with all the video footage so we can kind of get a more accurate reflection on where the game is at and how it's shaping up. He did also say that it is looking like a early 2025 release, so Q1, Q2, hopefully by June, which I think would be fantastic. I'm really excited for that. So I guess just as we kind of wait and see what they have planned, like I said, I'm still really excited for this, so I hope you guys enjoyed all the footage and everything that I could bring up. And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments.